Okay. Yes, everyone, we are live. Masculine Geek number 77. Welcome to Wednesday, one of the best days of the week, one of the best shows on the internet. And there's some weirdness going on here. So Rob is having video issues.
I think I got it figured out though. Let me click on something here. And while I'm at it, as I'm figuring this out, I've also got some Geek Intel since it's been a minute since I've done that.
That's true. Okay. Cool.
Everybody will be excited to see this. Vince hasn't seen this. Nobody has seen this. So, cool. Well, actually, that's not entirely true. Someone did, but it was someone that's not on the panel or anything like that. Okay, gotcha. Let's see. Camera. Right. Boom.
Awesome. All right. So everyone, in a moment, Rob will have Geek Intel, and you bought one.
That's excellent. The Geek Intel.
Nice. I didn't get an alert that someone purchased one.
I don't know what to tell you.
I think something's all fucked up because I didn't get an alert when I purchased the clock.
Huh.
It was really weird.
But yeah,
I have to look into that. Nice. So it came out pretty good.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yep.
Sweet.
So it's almost like the mirror effect since I'm wearing the banner and the banner's behind me as well.
That's very cool. Yeah. It's like small and large. So we are missing TJ. And TJ is incognito at the moment. He's handling some business. So we're going to rock on the dynamic duo. It's not the Three Musketeers tonight. So welcome to everyone in the chat. Mictobus, Nick, Competent Man, Juan, Balzac McQuack. Interesting name. I like it.
Yeah, it is.
And I think I saw the bit up there. He was the first in. He was the first in 30 minutes ago. That's dedication. We appreciate the love.
Absolutely.
So when did you order it and how long did it take to get to you?
God, I knew you'd ask that. I want to say I ordered it at the end of June. I want to say it was because they were saying that it was going to take like 2 weeks to get is what they said. And that's about what it took because I got it. What's today? The 15th. I got it on Saturday. So just a couple days ago.
All right.
So yeah, it took about 2 weeks.
Log into the back end. See if it shows up. Fuck it. Cover your face, not your personality. Shop masks.
Oh,
people are really fucking taking advantage of this shit. That's for sure.
Oh fuck! I'll tell you what. It's fucking ridiculous, man. It is just fucking fag central doing that shit.
All right, so there's my order for the clock. Let's see.
Nothing?
This interface sucks balls.
Nah.
So, all right, so how's your week going so far?
Pretty good. I've been off since last Friday. I took last Friday off, I have Saturday, Sunday, and Monday off, and then I took Tuesday and today off. And that's because my job, at the beginning of July, the regional manager got in touch with everybody and said, you all need to, put your vacation time in for the remainder of the year, blah, 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 blah. And if you don't, then on Wednesday, the company is going to assign you your vacation days. Instead of in the past where it was as long as we gave them, a couple weeks notice and we were taking off days that other people hadn't been taking off already, and because I got my time for the end of September for the Village by the Lake. That's done. It's scheduled. It's cleared. It's good to go. But I still had a few days. And when I got that notification from the regional manager that, if I don't make my, vacation days plan it out now, basically, because I had like a 2-day window, then it's like, well, then you guys are just going to assign days, whatever those days may be. And it's like, if that's the case, then fuck it. I'm doing it in July while it's nice and hot and everybody's supposed to be working, even though not everybody is because furloughs. So fuck it. And so I took these days off. So
this says sales history. You haven't sold anything yet.
Oh, Jesus.
This is linked to me. It's linked to the PayPal. How could I hate shit like this.
I don't know what to tell you, man.
Ridiculous. Fucking.
Joe Rogan's leaving California by the end of the month. Huh.
Oh, yeah?
Well, that's what Juan just said.
Hmm.
Why? I mean, well, that's a rhetorical question, really.
We kind of know,
But
yeah.
there's multiple answers to that question. I'm just wondering because I don't follow Joe Rogan because I'm too busy doing my own thing. But did he say why he was leaving? Is the question I guess I have, which is why? Taxes?
Yeah.
Well, fucking taxes. That's actually one of my first thoughts is fucking yeah, the taxes out there are insane. But I know where it's California, that's another thing. So got that $100 million deal. So where is he going? Do you guys know? Anyone know? Just out of curiosity, because I'm just like I said, generally curious.
What the fuck?
Because Cali's being a bunch of commies. Well, it is California Stan. We do know that. You know, it's the People's Republic of California. And that's no surprise. They've been that way. They were commie Stan, one of the first. So I think even they were commie Stan even before it became a hip thing to do in Portland and in Seattle. More talk of next stimulus. Texas. Depends on where in Texas he wants to go. Some parts of Texas are in pretty sad shape right now. Pulling your kids out of school, good for you, Bull Rush. Yeah, fuck that shit. Oh, thinking of that, do you guys, Vince and obviously the $1 million chat, the guys in the chat here, have you seen or heard anything about colleges or universities and they're pretty much going completely online, but the fucking tuition isn't changing?
Yeah.
Have you seen or heard anything about that? Isn't that fucking awesome? That it's like, yeah, we're going to charge you $50,000 a year, but everything's going to be done online. It's like, oh my God, yes, keep that shit up because people are going to go, fuck you.
Yep. Let me see something. Using that account.
You know, because when I think about it, when it comes to tuition, which is ridiculous, the high amount it is anyway. When I was in college, I'm going to date myself here. I started college in 1990 and I graduated in 94. So I got a 4-year degree in 4 years. Nice. The tuition that I paid for the university that I went to was very reasonable back then, very affordable back then. That between working a part-time job, having a scholarship, and that was because of my grades, and being eligible for a couple of grants, which grants are free money, quote unquote. You know, it's not a loan. You don't have to pay that shit back. But between the scholarship, the money I was earning working, and the grants, by the time I graduated, I was debt free. The day I graduated, I owed nobody any kind of money. And where tuition has gotten higher and higher as time has gone on, you know, inflation and whatever else. I mean, I'm sure there's an economist out there who's kind of a bitter, salty old hag that could probably really get into the details of that. But Chesty nailed it. First rule of customer service: your customers need to see your service. that to me, this was back before online was even a thing. The internet was just, email was like the big thing. And I thought amazingly, obviously wrong, but I honestly thought the World Wide Web and all that shit was like a fad. Like, this is a fad.
Right.
Boy, how wrong was I? But paying like 50,000 plus per year, depending on the university or the school you go to, if you're going to be paying top fucking dollar, wouldn't you want to be able to actually see your professors and see your classmates and all of that? Because I know I would. That it's like, why should I pay you full price to do this shit online? If you're going to do that, then maybe you ought to bring the price down a bit because you're not dealing with anybody. Yeah, $50K for a Zoom meeting. You nailed it, Dre.
That's insane.
Fed government started backing. Yeah, you're correct, Bull Rush. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because that is one of the few things that you cannot get out of in a bankruptcy. Yeah, you have fucking government loans there. You're fucked. You don't get to get out of that shit from a bankruptcy filing. That's for sure. $1 million student loan. Oh my God. TJ is off tonight. He's got other things he's got to be doing, so he won't be here tonight, Bacon. So you just get us two. You get the dynamic duo versus the three musketeers.
Right.
Yeah, no shit, $50K for a Zoom meeting. And I'm just thinking, fuck. That to me would just be further incentive as a young person that is thinking about going to college or maybe even is in college to be like, yeah, maybe it's time to go do something else. You cut your losses type of thing, get out while you can, or don't go in if you're thinking of going in. Not when you still need to pay 50 grand a year to do a Zoom meeting. It's like, fuck that. Because that to me, that's, you hear that phrase, juice ain't worth the squeeze. That juice ain't worth the fucking squeeze there. The bombastic boomer duo. Yeah.
I'll be with you guys in a moment.
Yeah. Guess you assholes will have to do. Well, Bacon, it's either that or I guess, you're going to have to, I don't know, go out into the streets and, avoid getting arrested or something. I don't know what to tell you there, dude. Jesus, 4 hours, 2 plumbers, build 1,800, 450 per hour. Jesus Christ.
Okay.
Yeah, that fucking happens.
Email sent.
To
Redbubble. Like assholes. Hey, what's up, Chest? Nonstop. Ben Frank. Bacon. Homeschool, Juan. Bull Rush, Chest. Yep, all you guys. Thank you for joining us.
Nope.
Oh, fucking tired today.
I'm going to go off on a little tiny rant for a minute, Vince.
Oh, please do.
Yeah.
Please do.
It goes back.
I could use a good rant.
All right. Well, there's a few things that have happened recently that obviously have been on social media. There is the whole Jada Pinkett Smith and Will Smith thing. The video, and he basically is, being cucked right there on live television type of thing or whatever. And you can see the destruction and the devastation in his face. Now, that one, I'm not really going to go off on a whole lot. Guys are, you see the look here and I knew it was this and I knew it was that, all the Monday night quarterbacking. And all I could think was, well, you kind of knew this shit was coming when they kind of had an open marriage and they both talked about that shit years ago. And the fact that she's hyphenated her last name to me is a kind of a giveaway. So it's like, well, duh, water is wet. What did you expect? But the one that really has kind of irritated me a little bit because it involves a few topics that are kind of near and dear to me is Scott Adams getting married. Okay. So he's got Scott Adams is what, like 60, 65, something like that. He's in his 60s. I know that much. And he decides to marry younger, hotter, tighter. Okay. And he put the pictures up online and the fucking hate that this guy was getting. Now, would I get married to younger, hotter, tighter like that? Not unless I was planning on having kids. I wouldn't. But you know what? It's fucking Scott Adams' life. If he wants to fucking marry the girl, why the fuck does anyone else even fucking care? Seriously. Because I actually said to Scott, in his comments and shit, I was like, hey, congratulations to you and your wife. I wish you the best. Because guys are all Monday night quarterbacking that. Oh, she's just there for the money. And I give them a year tops and all that. I'm like, okay, number one, Scott Adams is not an idiot. The man is a wealthy dude. Okay. He knows attorneys. He may not always know the law, but he knows attorneys that do know the law. Chances are he's probably got his assets secured. And even if not, why do you fucking care? It's his life. The fucking guy's happy. He's found a girl that, okay, maybe she's using him even though she's a millionaire herself. Who gives a fuck? The guy's happy. Leave him the fuck alone. All right. And then, of course, all the hate because, the insinuations or the outright blatant calls of pedophilia on him because, oh, my God, that could be your granddaughter. And that's why I had to tweet about, guys throwing shade at older guys who have younger women are guys who don't have younger women and never will. I did a tweet on that and it kind of took off. It had a minor disturbance in the ripple effect. Because I thought about that because I thought the only guys, I'm not talking about the women, the only guys that I've ever gotten shade from when I dated much younger than me were guys that it was simple, straight up jealousy. That it's like, you're just pissed off because you don't have that and you never will. You're never going to have that because you don't want to put in the fucking work. And by work, that doesn't mean you got to be Chad Thundercock. That doesn't mean you got to make $1 million+ and have a 6-pack ab and a chiseled jaw and be 6'4", because I'm none of that shit. Okay. I am not wealthy by any fucking stretch of the imagination.
Well, you kind of have the chiseled jaw.
Okay, I've got that.
Yeah,
but I don't have. I don't have the height requirement, Vince. I'm not 6'4". Okay, and I don't have the wealth requirement.
How dare you? How dare you be short?
Right. How dare I be short and be, just average income? Okay. Maybe it was the fact that the fucking girl thought I was pretty neat. And I always wanted younger, hotter, tighter. And so I fucking took a chance. And what could have happened? Well, I envisioned in my head at the time that, she's going to blow me out of the fucking water. She's going to do all sorts of shit, but I have to know. Because I would rather know, even if it's likely that, no, I'm not into that. Turns out she was fucking into it. Okay. And to me, I figured, well, what could we possibly have in common other than she's got a thing for older dudes and I got a thing for younger, hotter, tighter. But we probably don't have a lot in common. So I'm thinking maybe 3 months tops. Well, guess what? It turned into a 4-year relationship where we spent 2 of those years living together. Turns out younger, hotter, tighter, and I had a lot in common. And it wasn't just sex. So, good God. Motherfuckers, this is when I've written about it. I've done videos where guys will talk themselves out of fucking anything. That it's like, Jesus fucking Christ, you guys. If it isn't, it's fear. It's simple fear and lazy.
I just did a tweet about that.
Yeah, I just did a tweet here just like a half hour before the show where I said, beautiful women seldom get approached by men. Most of them spend the time at home. And already some of the horse shit that was coming in. That it's like, they're all getting approached in the clubs. And I'm like, motherfucker, you're missing the point. I'm not talking about the clubs. I'm not talking about the bar.
Everybody gets approached at a club.
Fuck yeah. That's a given.
Dumbass.
Yeah, that's if you want to put game on hard mode, you go and do night game. Okay, that's hard mode. But walking up to a woman and shooting the shit with her during the daylight hours, whether you're at work, she's at work, you're at a fucking coffee shop, wherever it is, you meet her on the fucking street. Way too many guys are pussies. And then their excuse is, oh, well, me too. The me too thing. And it's like, dude, motherfucker, you're not going to get me too. You ain't shit and you ain't nobody. The only guys that get fucking me too'd have a lot of money and have a lot of power and a lot of status. Fucking Joe Blow nobody does not get me too'd. Okay,
there's a comment in the chat from Competent Man. So she's 50. She doesn't look 51.
Oh, okay. She's 51?
She must have some really good
God damn, she doesn't
genes.
look that. Yeah, she doesn't look that old to me. Holy fuck. I thought she was like in her 30s. But either way, you know, it's just this fucking idea that, you know, because I get it with the women going off on older guys dating younger women. I actually understand that when women fucking lose their shit because they know they can't compete with younger, hotter. So that one I get, that it's like, oh, that's just women, you know, realizing they don't stand a chance. And so they're just trying to shame dudes. And I've dealt with that it's like, meh, whatever. You know, I just ignore that. That's just static. That's just, you know, when they're talking.
Yeah.
And so it's like, big fucking deal there, you know, because I know what that is. But the guys, I mean, yeah, there's some dudes that are virtue signaling, hoping, you know, that, you know, it's one of those, I hope she sees this, bro. But I've had guys both online and in real life fucking try it. And it's like, well, there's no women around to virtue signal to. So obviously you drank all the Kool-Aid, and it's simply the fact that you're just fucking jealous because you're too big of a pussy to try it out. Because I'm not the world's most fit guy. I am not the world's tallest guy. I'm not the world's wealthiest guy. And yet I can pull much younger. So what the fuck? You know, it fucking irritates me so much. And guys are so willing to talk themselves out of it, man. It's like you give a guy a fucking, you know, hey, here's a solution. Oh, no. Here's more problems. Nah, me too. Nah. Gotta be 6'4". Nah. And it's like, go fuck yourselves. You know, seriously. And that's just where I just start muting, because it's like, I'm not going to block. Because then they have a trophy, you know, they can wave that around to all their buddies. Oh, look at this sensitive fucker blocking me.
You're right. All right. Competent Man made a mistake. Wrong person.
Yeah, I was thinking, no, this girl ain't 51.
Yeah, she's probably 31.
If that.
Yeah.
I don't even think she's that old.
As I say, she looks very, very millennial.
Yeah,
young millennial.
Shit, very. That's what, you know, I don't know because I don't follow it. But when I started seeing all the bullshit, and I'm just like,
hey, Joe,
really? Motherfuckers are coming after Scott Adams, and I barely give it a year. And it's like, you know what? Fuck you guys. You know, the man's happy. Let him live his fucking life the way he wants. And it's like, I saw one also last night after the whole Scott Adams bullshit. There was another guy. There was like this little TikTok video where there was this dude who was about 70, and he's got like a 23-year-old chick, and they're on his yacht, and they're doing a stupid little fucking.
Oh, I think I saw that.
The guys are losing their fucking.
Is he like sniffing her hair or some shit? Like
I don't know what he was doing, but he's doing a little dance, and she's all, you know, but he has a yacht, you know, and all these guys, the fucking peanut gallery. And I'm like, you know, because they're all like, you know, yeah, rich guy, you know, she's just there for the money and for the yacht, and she's going to cheat on him, and then she's going to fucking split. And I'm like, yeah, so?
Who gives a shit?
This fucking guy knows this. Okay. He's not blind. And that's something I tweeted about too, that I said, you know, you can't get old by being naive. You know, trust me, guys know. We know the fucking score. And so the guy, so she's interested in his yacht and what he can do for her. So fucking what? He's getting laid by 23-year-olds. Who fucking cares?
Yeah.
That's what he wants. I guarantee you, he's not looking at, well, I want to have a wife and save the West and all that other bullshit. This guy's like, yeah, I've got the clout. I've got the money. I have the means that I can bring young hotties onto my boat and bang them. That's what he fucking wants to do. I guarantee you. And she's fucking other dudes, and she's gonna cheat on him and leave. You know what? He's probably like, yeah, I know.
Yeah, unless something has changed with the law, the judicial system, it's not fucking illegal.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's like, hey, you guys are just pissed off because you don't have a yacht and have the fucking money to do the same thing this guy's doing. That's why you're pissed off. It's like,
Pretty
just
much.
shut the fuck up. God damn, you miserable pricks.
Yep.
You know, and that's where I'm looking at it going, this is why you fuckers are, you know, some of you are taking on the title incel. Well, of course you're an incelibate because you're fucking miserable and you're fucking bitter and you're fucking scared and you're too chicken shit to try. And so it's far, far easier to sit back and pat yourself on the back while you stroke your penis going, well, baby, and it's like, fuck you. Just go fuck yourselves. You know, there needs to be a way that, you know, kind of like, who was it? Was it Chest? Somebody, or I don't know if it was Ryan, somebody had said, you know, I think it was Chest, that back in the day, people would write these screeds to the local newspaper and they would end up in the circular file or the round file, as he called it. To me, it was circular file that ended up in the trash. And
Right,
so it never saw the light of day. And now with social media, everyone has their fucking soapbox to do their manifestos, to do their fucking screeds.
The circular file is now public and visible.
Right. And fucking social media has become the circular file. You know, it really has. That it's just like, God damn. You know, but motherfuckers are doing that shit, you know, and it's like, oh, you miserable cocksuckers. It's like, just shut up and go the fuck away. Just go away. You want to go MGTOW or whatever it is you want to do, just go. Just fucking go. Just go and shut the fuck up because I don't want to fucking hear it. You guys are just miserable cocksuckers.
Yeah. Well, it's like every group that comes to rise or a club or hobby or whatnot sees when they see an influx of social justice warriors, whether that's the red pill dudes or not, they come in and try to fuck it up and change it. It's just, it seems to be the same thing. So the best thing you do is just keep your cool and just don't even pay attention to it. His book Win Bigly. I don't think do I have that one? No, I think I have the one How to Fail. Or The Art of Failing or some shit. Someone have to correct me on the title. What's up, Bit? Where were you? It's been an hour. You hopped in at 8:30 and then you disappeared. So, but yeah, for the most part, I don't follow any of the bullshit on Twitter. I just don't care. But some things come across the feed and you can't help but see it. So the best thing to do is just chuckle and move on.
Well, and another thing I want to add to that, and maybe I'm wrong here, and maybe, you know, Chesty or Bullrush or someone will call me out on the carpet for it, and that's fine, because these guys in the chat, the majority of these guys to me are they're my fellow peers. So if I'm going way off the deep end here, guys, and
we'll let you know.
Tell me, yeah, if I need to back the truck up, tell me. All right, I can take the criticism, but here's the thing. That's right. Here's the thing that I got thinking about the Scott Adams thing, okay? And this goes back to frame. This goes back to the term alpha. And you can argue, you know, that Scott Adams is a situational alpha, that he's pretty much a beta guy. And in a lot of ways, I would agree. But in this particular case of him choosing younger, hotter, tighter for whatever his fucking reasons are, and she chose him for whatever her fucking reasons are, you know what? That's a guy that's living his life on his terms. That's pretty fucking alpha to me. Okay. The fucking guy's like, you know what? Fuck all y'all. I'm going to fucking date 30-year-old because apparently Chest found it. I'll take his word because Chest is pretty goddamn good at doing research. Atham, you're slacking, dude. Chest is kicking your ass, dude. You need to step up. Okay. So she just turned fucking 30. Okay. And she's hot. And the guy,
good body.
Yeah. Oh, fuck yeah. And the guy decides, you know what? I want to marry that shit. You know what? Like I said, not maybe the choice I would make for me. But you know what? That's what he wants to do. More fucking power to him. Good for you, Scott. Congratulations. Okay? Because he's living his life the way he fucking wants to. And most of the motherfuckers, the naysayers and the critics and the goddamn peanut gallery, they're too fucking scared and they don't want to live their life on their own terms. And so because someone else does, they have to bring them down because, oh my God, I wouldn't dare do something like that because
Well,
everyone else's
you know what?
fucking opinion is more important than my own.
Well, the problem is they can't do something like that, and it really bothers them on a gut level. And that's it. You just laugh. I'm like, whatever. It's like let the guy be. On the flip side of that, and playing a small devil's advocate, you're gonna post shit like that on social media, then expect
right
retards to come in. I mean, that you have to. That's just the way it is.
Right. And that I get, and I know because Scott's a fucking troll. You know, he antagonizes
He's rubbing people's noses. Look at this shit.
Oh, yeah,
look at it.
Look at me with my fucking bikini model, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's like, you know, the motherfucker, of course. And so, you know, I'm not saying, you know, don't leave, you know, leave poor Scott alone. No, it isn't about that. It's just miserable motherfuckers.
Well, yeah, they
cannot just sit back and go, you know what? Good for you, dude.
They out
Congratulations.
themselves.
Oh,
they
totally.
out themselves.
Totally.
Yeah, they completely do it. It's you can always tell someone's mindset by what they're complaining about.
Oh yeah.
And also, everyone here's the thing too is like everyone wants to be right.
Yeah.
They were having this tete-a-tete with the burning bush last week, and they came down off the mountain, and they're going to tell you what you were doing wrong with your life or how to live it, or you know, this is what you're going to do. This is how you do it. If you don't do it, then you're wrong. Whatever. And most of these people complaining and posting this shit on Twitter have no lives. That's it.
Yeah, that's it. It's like, really, you know, I mean, it's haters are gonna hate, and I get it.
TJNF and missing in action.
Yeah, we're not going to go there.
We didn't want to say it, but yeah.
God damn it, homeschool, stop.
Yeah.
Right, you know, but it's just because that's one thing that has always been kind of a near and dear to me is do what you want in whatever way you need.
Get your women in line, Carl.
That's right.
God damn it. Who bitch be this? Who bitch be this?
Right. You know, but I've always looked at it that, you know what? Everyone has their ideal life, whatever it may be. Maybe they want Lambos and young hoes and stacks of green and whatever, and they want to
like
be
a poem, Rob, that you need to write.
No shit, apparently. That's not the lifestyle I want, but for the guys who do, good for you. Fucking go pursue that. And then there are guys that, you know, yeah, I want the trad wife and the happy life and all that bullshit. And fine, you go do that, dude. Nothing wrong with that. If you're living the life you want to live and you're good with it, then you know what? God bless, I'm happy for you. Okay. It may not be the lifestyle I'm going to choose, but yeah. I can respect that lifestyle for someone else. That it's like, okay, but I'm not going to get online and piss and moan about, oh, well, you don't live my way. And it's like, oh yeah, but your way, you're a miserable motherfucker. Why would I want to join you? It's not just that misery loves company, guys. It's
misery loves miserable company.
Miserable company.
We talked about it a little while ago, and it's dead on, and you see it. It's like, all right, well, if I hate on this dude, then other people are going to agree with me, and I'm going to feel better about myself.
There you go. That's it.
They have this little hate club online, and then they can go back to talking to the burning bush. And they'll come back down. You know, God's talking directly to them. They're going to come back down and complain about something else.
Hey, you know, I have to add with all the ranting here, where I do feel much better getting it out of my system for one, because it would be harder for me to type all of this up. This is one of those moments when I get excitable like this. It actually comes out better orally than it does like trying to put it down on paper to write the 10 Commandments, right?
Yeah.
But one of the things that I have to let the chat know, I haven't been drinking tonight. I'm fucking sober. Yeah, sober Rob in the house.
Yeah, this is mineral water.
Yeah, I'm just drinking Pepsi Zero. That's all I'm drinking.
Nice.
So yeah, it's one of these things, guys, that, you know, because I love younger women. I mean, seriously, honestly, what guy doesn't?
Yeah.
You know, I think that if you took, maybe not all guys, I'm not going to go that far out, but I would say, well, you use the Pareto principle or whatever, 80% of guys, given the chance, would want younger, hotter, tighter. Okay.
Of course.
Doesn't mean they're going to get it. Doesn't mean they're going to divorce or whatever else. But if they knew that there would be no consequences and they could do
They were
it
given
over,
they were given a chance. Yeah.
yeah, given a free fucking pass type of thing, 80% minimum would fucking go right after younger, hotter, tighter. Knowing that, yep, they're going to accept them. They're not going to get rejected. There's going to be no negative consequences. They would fucking do it. And so I look at that and I think, I've had younger, hotter, tighter. I know what that's like. And hell yeah, I'm going to do it again. Because for me, it's, if I've done it once, then that means I can do it again. I know I've started to learn, I figured it out to a degree for me, what to look for. That it's like, okay, I can tell this girl's interested. I can tell this one is not. And it may do with the fact that I'm 20 years older than her, because some women, yeah, that is icky. But for others, they're good with it. And it's just, it pisses me off so fucking much when I see, especially other guys, like I said, the women I get. But when guys start throwing shade, it's like, oh, you motherfuckers, you fucking cowardly puke pieces of shit.
Jealousy and envy.
Yep. And then they're acting like a bunch of women that it's like, change the name, change the avatar, shave off the beard, or fuck in some cases leave the beard on, because I've seen women that damn near have the same beard. And it's like, Jesus Christ, you're a bunch of fucking women. All of you fuckers that are criticizing like Scott, criticizing guys like me, I just took it in good stride, because it's like, the girl's good with it. You're just jealous because you wished it was you. So fuck it.
Yeah, all my girls are younger than me, much younger than me.
Well, that's the point.
Yeah. And do I feel bad about it? No.
No, me neither.
Yeah, right? Do I care if anyone complains about it? No. Nope.
Yeah, your loss more for me.
Do not give a shit.
Yep.
So, yeah, that was a good rant. Thank you, Rob.
Yeah, there you go. So, killed some time for the show tonight.
There you go. Yeah, this is true.
There you have it. Most guys don't do that, though. Most guys are a bunch of bitches.
Yeah, there's a lot of manginas. We call those manginas.
Yep. Yeah, no shit. And All Pro brought up a good point, too. Debt doesn't matter if it's hers and you're not paying. Absolutely fucking right. TJ, hey, you know what? When I was in my 20s, I dated women older than me. I was dating women that were in their early 30s. And I learned a lot from them. I learned that, wow, a lot of women in their 30s knew how to fuck. And they were no bullshit. They were just like, I want you, come home type of thing. I just got tired of it in the sense that, one, you had other issues that come up because a lot of them had kids. A lot of them did have debt. A lot of them tried to control the relationship. They either wanted to mother me, which it's like, I already have a mother, thank you, and she drives me fucking nuts. Why would I want a second mother? I don't need one. Or they just wanted to be in the driver's seat because that's what they were used to.
They're really set. They're set in their ways. Which
they start to crystallize.
Yeah.
And for me, it's like, yeah, that's not going to work. And now it's like, oh yeah, fast forward 20 years. It's like, oh, now I'm going in reverse. Now I'm going after the younger girls because the older girls, women my age are too old for me.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I look at it. It's like, you guys are too old for me. Doesn't mean I wouldn't bang one occasionally here and there, because there's some that have taken pretty good care of themselves. But they're set in their fucking ways. And I get that. And I have no harm, no foul, but I'm not putting up with that bullshit.
And there's some that I think I told this story before. I was at a good way to, well, not now because of this fucking bullshit, but a good way to source your women is from meetups.
Right.
And I had joined this introvert meetup. And it was just like,
actually show up for it.
They did. You wouldn't think they would, but yeah, right, because introverts are fundamentally they get drained by large crowds, so they'll go out and then come back, go out, come back. They're fine by themselves. They prefer to recharge on their own, so that's fine.
Yeah,
and I'm the same way, but occasionally you want to meet like-minded people,
right?
But these meetups are like fucking buffets. And I was at this one dinner, and this woman was sitting next to me, and she was probably, if she was lucky in the proper light, she was maybe a 5.5, maybe. And she was older than me. But there was something about her, it was just like fucking electricity.
Mm-hmm.
And I just put my leg right up against hers. We kind of turned towards each other, and we just both knew. And then it was on. And it was just completely sexual. And
Yep.
it didn't. I did not fucking care.
Same.
And this woman was just like, all right. She had a great fucking body.
Mm-hmm.
That's all that mattered. I did not
Mhm.
care. So
Yeah.
you roll with it. I'm not going to marry this woman. I'm not going to, be in a long-term relationship or move in with her.
What you fucking want. You know
Exactly.
what your outcomes are. You know that. I look at it that there's basically two major groups of women: women I would bang and women I'd take home to meet the family. Both
No,
those.
this was yeah, and she wasn't 55. No, this was very. This was a while ago, so she was like in her late 40s. I was in my mid 40s. This is
There you
going
go.
back. Fuck. I think I was like 44. So I didn't care. She had a great fucking body. She took care of herself.
There
She
you
took
go.
care of herself. Yeah.
But the fucking spurgs in the spurgosphere would be,
Yes, Carl. I know they're pheromones, but here's the deal with science. When you're dealing with women, yeah, have in the back of your head that science and hypergamy. That yes, that's all good. It's good to know these things. Leave a little room in your life for a little bit of magic. You don't have to fully believe it. It's just like you're with a woman who's talking about astrology or she's into witchcraft, or my main girl now is into witchcraft. I don't fucking care. But you know what? It's fun. It's fun to think about. It's fun to discuss. Does that mean you're going to become a warlock? No, knock it off, guys. No. But just, it's called romance and fun and adventure for a reason. That adds to it. You're like I said, you guys are fucking killing me. We all know the science. We absolutely, and I love you guys for it. But fuck God, stop it. Yeah,
get out of your goddamn heads.
yeah, and when Rob and I talk about getting into your body, a lot of guys are like, "Well, all right, that's nice, Vince, but how do you get into your body?" Well, first of all, stop overthinking shit.
Yeah.
Do not bring science into it. You can have it in the back of your head, but just leave it back there. Just leave it back there. And when you're with a woman, shut the fuck up.
Yep.
All right. You want to be curious about her. Just shut the fuck up. Stop talking. Stop talking about yourself. Ask her questions about herself. Be interested in her. Okay? That's how you reel them in. Stop fucking talking. Most guys there'll be that instant attraction. Like that woman I just talked about, younger, older, didn't matter. Pheromones, yes, Carl, you're correct, they're pheromones. But to me, it's magic, it's electricity, it's like it's lust, all that rolled into one. It's a great package. Now, I could have run my mouth. I do this, I do that, I went here. No. I just asked her questions about what was happening around the table and wanted to know about her life. Let her talk. This woman probably by the end of the conversation, because of where things went, because of those pheromones, Carl, the magic, everything, was in love with me. I've had 2 marriage proposals from women because they fucking adored me. All right? Well, come on, look at this for fuck's sake. But obviously I'm being facetious. But I wasn't always running my mouth. Hell, this is probably the most on Masculine Geek that I've run my mouth. Nonstop power crystals. I don't fucking care what it is. Just
yeah.
You don't have to like, all right, well, she's into power crystals, so I'm going to, no, she's into astrology, so I have to, no. Carl, yes, I know, but I know it's biology, but the yap is the icing on the cake. If you reduce everything to your daily life to biology, you're going to be one of the miserable motherfuckers.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
And as far as paying for dinner, I've had women pay for my dinner.
Yep.
Pay for my drinks. You have to reevaluate if it's just transactional and you're just continuing paying for dinners. And I'm not saying she owes you anything, but a woman that's into you, she's going to be into you. She's going to do those amazing, fun physical things. She's going to play with your pee-pee there, gentlemen. Okay. She's going to want to do that. She's going to cock worship you. She's going to want it in her mouth. She's going to want it in her body. She's going to want your cock.
And isn't that kind of part of the goal?
It is, absolutely. No, Carl, you're right. Carl, I'm not going to argue with you online. If you want to talk privately about this and we'll discuss your 2 divorces, absolutely. Absolutely. I have no problem with that. But I'm not going to argue biology and divorces. Were you wearing that pheromone laden? No, actually not. I tried it once. It's okay. It's not bad. Do I think it works? If you think it works, then it works. It's like crystals and astrology. But you're a pretty old. I am a pretty old bastard. Absolutely. YouTube censors are going. Yeah, they probably are. I said. I haven't said retard though. Carl, you live near me. Oh, thank you. Done with that. Exactly. Mystery is attracted to women. Carl, I love you like the brother that I didn't want. Now, I do love you very much. Okay, dude. But women aren't after my wallet. Not at all. So Rob knows that, and I have receipts to prove that. I'm a Capricorn. We don't believe in astrology. See, there you go. I'm an Aquarius. I can talk about certain things with women that are related to that kind of stuff. Does it mean I believe in it? No. But it's fun. The brother I didn't want. The brother I never want. No, Carl. I've met Carl. Carl's a good dude. But don't focus too much on biology. Get out of your head. You definitely have to get into your body. And part of getting into your body is exactly what Done with Dead said. Mystery is very attractive.
Yes.
Yeah. Women want the brother. Women want a man who's mysterious. This one other woman that I'm going to add to the stable, she would ask me about my work. Kind of like hush about it. And one of her questions to me was, so what you do is like, so you could like, you could probably, if I told you where my brother, or if I told you that my brother was stationed somewhere, you could probably find out real quick, couldn't you? I said, yeah, probably within 30 minutes. She's like, oh my gosh. She's like, that's so scary, but so fucking hot.
See, and I had a woman the other night ask me, so what do you do? And before I got to what I actually did, I played with it. I was constantly teasing her because I said, my words were, in fact, I'll pull it up here because I thought it was pretty good. Anyone else may think otherwise, and I don't care, but I thought it was pretty good. So let me pull it up here. Dun, 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 dun. And a lot of you nerds out there that are watching right now, you'll get the reference. So let's see.
Nipple, Carl. Carl's showing his nipples. No, but Carl is correct. I mean, it is about biology, and that's the biology was evident with that one woman. I mean, but that's fine. I thank God for biology. That's the way it works. Like she was a woman. I'm a man. I mean, it's obvious. I'm gonna bend you over and fuck you. I mean,
okay. So she said, "What do you do for work?" And then I said, "When I'm not crushing my enemies and driving them before me, and hearing the lamentation of their women from being a pit fighter, I work in the secure document destruction industry."
Well done.
That's what I said.
If you the night is not complete until we have a Ghostbusters reference. Absolutely.
Yeah, well, that wasn't a Ghostbusters reference. That was Conan the Barbarian.
No, Bull Rush. But no, Conan, yeah, I'm very familiar with that, yeah.
Yeah.
I was talking about Bull Rush.
Ah, yeah. If she asks if you're a god, you say yes. Yes, correct.
And Conan as well. Conan references are very appropriate. But that was a perfect response. That kind of thing.
Well, it's like I said, we were talking about food a little bit, as I'm trying to figure out what she likes to eat. And so I asked her, what are you into? And she said lasagna, country fried steak from scratch, gravy and all, various kinds of Mexican, Italian foods. And then I said country fried steak and all of it from scratch. That's right. Talk dirty to me. And got a huge laugh out of her. Okay. That's kind of how I do it. It's just constantly teasing, constantly busting on them. Because when I asked her what she did, she said she works in tech support for the DOD and for some doctors. And I was like, oh, you're a spy that deals in encryption then. So have you busted any of the Taliban lately? And she laughed about that, and was like, no, that's not what I do. And I was like, so what do you do? And she's like, well, I do tech support. I make sure that their computers work, that the software works as intended. And that's where I was like, oh, so you're not a coder. You're not dealing with ones and zeros. And she's like, no. And I was like, okay, so tech support, I got you. And then that's where I was like, so when you're not busy throwing hammers at computer screens, what else are you doing? Shit like that. And she's like, oh my God, you're funny.
There you go.
And that's it.
Yeah, you were being playful.
That's it.
Yeah. That's part of the getting out of your head.
Nonstop, I do bust on them. And I'm telling you what, dude, I've said it to women before. I've had it in my profile in the past that I've said to them, I will get you laughing all the way to the bedroom. And I've done that. I've had women where, I'm joking around with them and whatnot, laughed them all the way to the bedroom. So, when women say they want a guy with a sense of humor, they're not kidding. And so I look at every interaction with them as it's going to go well. They're going to love what I have to say. They're going to die laughing from it. I can be serious when it's time to be serious because I know how to do that. But for the most part, unless it's time to be serious, I'm not going to be serious. I'm going to tease them. I'm going to bust on them a little bit. I'm going to joke with them. And they fucking love that kind of shit.
Oh, yeah. Call them out on their shit. They say something ridiculous. He says, that's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. Hey, Drew. Some guys
I got Drew. Drew announces his presence with that line. Yeah. Drew shows up. We're gonna celebrate Drew with his alley-like, return to the masculine.
We call that we call one of those guys Aaron Clary.
That's right. And Chesty's right too when he said, "When she laughs at your shit jokes, it's on." It's a true statement. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. When you can tease a woman and call her out on her shit and she still laughs. I posted about that in the newsletter. What I told her.
I had a 29-year-old the other day that her and I were bantering, and she was sending me pictures of herself, and she's not a bad-looking gal. But I'm not going to, oh my God, you're so beautiful. Oh my God, you're a princess. Let me worship you. Like a lot of the simps do. I didn't even acknowledge it other than, oh, that's a nice picture. That's all I would say. And you can take that any way you want. It's like, it could be the lighting, the photography, because some of the shots were definitely, they weren't selfies in a mirror shot. It's like, these are professional shots.
And TJ, real fast, TJ, if you're watching, if you're not going to be on the show, get off of Twitter.
No shit. But she's sending me these pictures of her, and she's a cute girl. Okay, but I'm not gonna lose my shit over it just because she's fucking cute. It's like, yeah, you're cute, but I didn't say that. I just was like, oh, nice pictures, and then just move right on to the next thing. Well, then I'm like, so where do you live? And she tells me, and she's like, yeah, right now I'm living at home with my mom, which, given her age, she was in her late 20s. I want to say like 27, 28. Not terribly, surprising. It's like, okay. Well, then she sends me a picture of her and her mom, and they're both doing the duck face. And that's what I say to her. I was like, hey, you got a duck face just like she does. And she's like, starts laughing, and she's like, stop.
Apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
That's right. But it was hilarious. The fact that my immediate response was, You guys have the same duck face. And so,
Nice.
to me, that was great. It's like, oh, I'll bust on her for that. It's like, yeah, you and your mom have, you're definitely your mother's daughter. You both have the same duck face. And she did the laughy emojis and was like, hey, stop. And so, guys, that's the kind of shit you have to do to them. And you do that shit, not only like texting with them a little bit, which is primarily more for logistics, but you do that when you talk to them on the phone. You do that when you meet them for the first time. You do that on your 30th fucking date. You do that 20 years after you've been with them forever. You constantly kind of bust on them. I mean, all of my women in the past, short term, long term, I always was kind of busting on them to one degree or another. That's why they would all say, dude, you're such an asshole. And they wouldn't say it, like maliciously. It's that playful, the playful punch on the chest about right here. And you're such an asshole. But they loved that shit. And that's just something I've learned to do. It's what I do all the time. It's an automatic thing. I don't even think about it. The shit just falls out of my mouth. Take on astrology. It's bullshit. Okay. But when I did tarot readings and made good money at it, astrology would invariably come up and everybody had their sun sign. So I learned of what chick crack is, and chick crack works because pretty much 99% of all women believe in one form or another. But that doesn't mean that I have to believe it. And it doesn't mean I'm going to try and point out to them that, that's bullshit, right? I'm not going to do that to them. That'll dry up the pussy. You don't want to do that. That's where it's, oh yeah. Oh God, you're what? You're a Gemini? Oh, I've heard about you guys. You guys are fucking bipolar. You guys have split personalities. I'll bet you there's this one girl in you that's actually like this real sweet girl on the outside that the world sees. But then on the inside, there's this other girl. And that girl, you're probably fucking trouble. You say shit like that. And whatever sign you are, if you happen to know it, because maybe you used to believe in it or you looked it up or whatever. Kind of like Carl said, I'm a Capricorn and we don't believe in astrology. Well, I'm a Capricorn too, and Carl's correct. I don't believe in it either. But I know the sun signs. I know what they are. I had to for the profession I was in. Okay. But we're all compatible with everybody. But if you believe any of the horse shit that the girls believe in, some signs are more compatible than others. Okay, well, I would always find a way to be like, oh my God, we're compatible, and you just found ways to make it work. It's fate. It was destiny. It's in the stars. There's always something that you can leverage to your advantage with it. And so the girl believes in crystals and essential oils and fucking astrology. Dude, that's every woman on the planet pretty much. That's basic bitch shit right there. You don't point it out to them. You don't reveal the magic. You don't show them the magic trick. They don't want to know the magic trick. They want to be dazzled and think that fucking life, happens a certain way because of cosmic chance. When the reality is you're the engineer and you set everything up. You staged everything to go a certain way. The only difference was, is it going to be this girl that I'm talking to, or is it going to be some other girl?
What are you blathering about?
It's about setting the stage, about being the engineer.
And hiding magic rocks?
Yeah, that too.
Nice. Hide them magic rocks in the pussy.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
So,
Oh, that reminds me, speaking of magic rocks. Okay, guys, I got to grab this. We're going to have Geek and Tell, Vince, for real. I'll be right back. It's going to take me.
And when you get back, you have to do your spiel.
Oh, well, I'll do that right now. Guys, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, share this with someone that you think would benefit from it. Hit the notification bell, even though that thing's glitchy and twitchy. No, I'm going to belch here too while I'm at it. But nice. You know what to do. Hit the like button. Don't be a bunch of derelicts. Okay, I'll be right back.
Hurry up. I assume you're talking about your dogs, Carl.
Okay, so one of my girls, my Mexican girl, she's very practical and very pragmatic. She's very down to earth. I mean, this woman, she knows red pill better than pretty much probably any guy other than maybe Rolo. Okay. And she didn't go online and learn about it. She's lived it. Okay. She's a mom. Oh, single mom.
Who gives a shit?
Right. Okay. But her and I got talking about crystals and rocks and all that other shit that we've been discussing right now. And I was honest with her because I knew she could take it. She's not going to be so fragile about it, that she's going to be okay with the fact that I told her those crystals and that shit, they're just a bunch of rocks, right? Well, it struck her funny bones so bad. She fucking made this for me.
Just Rocks concert. That's awesome. With the googly eyes and I like the one that's the real tall.
Yeah, the one in the middle kind of thing. She fucking made this for me and then brought it over.
Nice.
Okay? Because she knows how I feel about all that stuff.
They're just fucking
Does
rocks.
it change her opinion of the subject matter? No. I'm not here. I'm not trying to convince her that what she believes in is bullshit. I'm not here to save her or sway her opinion. I was just being honest with her that it's like, yeah, I don't really buy that stuff. And she's like, so what do you think they are? They're just a bunch of rocks. But the stores, the new age stores and whatnot that sell that shit, they're onto something, because women buy that shit up like crack. And it's like, you're just buying a bunch of rocks. You realize that those rocks aren't going to do anything for you. But she gets it. But she knows I'm not trying to change her mind. And she knows damn well. She knows damn well that I'm not going to. She knows that she's not going to change my mind. Okay. So she knows. So we accept the fact that she has one point of view about that shit and I have another one. And it's fine. We still get along. We still have fantastic sex. We still do other shit. And she gets a laugh out of it every time I bring it up, or if she brings it up, because she likes to do that on occasion. She likes to bring it up and, because she knows it. I wouldn't call it a button because I don't get angry about it, but she knows it'll kind of get me riled up a little bit. I'm like, they're just a bunch of rocks. Yeah. And even when I met her kid, her kid was like, he got a kick out of it. He's like, just a bunch of rocks, huh? And I'm like, yep, just a bunch of rocks.
Absolutely.
And so she fucking made this thing and then called me up and was like, hey, I got something I want to bring over to you. And I'm like, oh, okay, whatever, come on over. And so she brings this fucking rock with a bunch of googly-eyed rocks with the banner that says Just Rocks concert. So she does shit like that. Okay. It's okay.
It's the little things, man.
Yeah. She took some time. I mean, it wasn't obviously terribly hard or difficult to do it, but talk about creative. It's like, oh, wow, that's sweet. And it was fun. I got a kick out of it. And I meant to show that a while ago, and then I fucking spaced it off until right now.
Cool. Is that more Pepsi or Coke or whatever you got there going?
Yeah, it's more of that. I'm still sober. I'm not drinking tonight, so.
Yeah. Some more of my Mexican mineral water.
There you go.
And also owned by the Coca-Cola company. Fuckers are everywhere, like horse shit. Jesus.
Yep. So you don't have to buy into their bullshit, and that's where I think kind of the being in your head thing that I've seen other dudes do. Not only do guys want to convert other guys, this is that red knighting that somebody, I don't remember if it was Chest or who it was that brought up the term. But instead of white knighting, it's red knighting. It's you want to preach and proselytize the red pill to guys that haven't unplugged yet. And all I can say to that is, how's that working out for you?
Well, they get excited. They're like, ooh, I have this new information that's liberated me. I'm going to share it with the world.
Yeah, and then I get it because hell, I did it too.
Yeah, we all have.
But it also blows up in your fucking face. Yeah. And so you realize you can't do that. You can't go out and start, pounding from the pulpit. They have to come to it on their own. And all you can do is just basically be there when they fucking fall down, and then you fucking offer them a hand up to pick them back up. And then maybe at that point they might be ready to listen, but you still got to let them come to it on their own. Well, it's the same with women. Okay. It really is that. Can you mold them? Yeah. My ex-girlfriend was a very left-leaning flower child, fucking crystals and astrology and all that shit. And I just kind of smiled and nodded, and she knew how I felt about it when her and I had been around each other long enough. She knew what I was like. Well, I started wearing off on her, and after a while, all of a sudden her crystals and shit start disappearing. I'm like, "Where's your rocks?" And she's like, "It's bullshit." And it wasn't me asking, but it was just one of those, I took mental note that it's like, And by the time she left, she had swung the pendulum the other way and had become very conservative, to the point of buying a firearm, wanting to learn how to shoot, wanting to get her concealed carry. When I first met her, guns bad. Guns are the problem. By the end, it was, I think I want a gun.
And the interesting thing about what you're talking about, Rob, is you weren't proselytizing or preaching. You just demonstrated by your behavior. And that's key. Always demonstrate with your behavior.
Yeah. I would just be like, "Hey, I'm going to go out and shoot. Do you want to come along?" And in the beginning, it was no. Okay, I'll see you later. And then I'd go out and shoot and enjoy myself and stay kind of sharp. And then later on, it was, "Hey, I'm going to go out and shoot. Do you want to come?" Well, I guess I'll come. All right, let's go. And it was, do you want to try shooting these things? No, but I'll watch. Okay. And I would shoot and she would watch. And then after a while, it's, "Do you want to try them out?"
Like, wait a minute, I want to try that.
Yeah. Then it was, hey, I do want to try your guns, and I'm like, cool, I'll bring the arsenal. I'll bring one of every caliber that I have, from the 22 all the way up to the 44. I'll bring everything, and I will let you shoot every fucking one of them to get an idea of what these things can do. And if you decide down the road you may or may not want a gun, you have an idea of what works for you. And of course, the 22, "Oh yeah, I remember my dad letting me do that." And it's like, okay, so she was definitely comfortable with that one. And then the 9mm, this is kind of nice. Yeah, okay, let's move up to the 40 and the 357, and then finally, bring out the Desert Eagle 44. Here you go, give this one a shot. And she shot one round and then set that fucker back down and was like, "I don't like that one." And it's like, yeah, most of you women don't, and that's okay. But then it was, "I want to buy a gun." "Well, do you have an idea of what you want?" "Probably something in 9mm. Okay, good choice. Do you want concealable or do you want a full frame gun? Because I have both. And in the past, I used to carry concealed my full frame guns. I only have two, concealed carry size guns. Everything else is full size. Well, I probably want, something, I can put in my purse, or, put in a, waistband or something. Okay. So you probably want to conceal carry because you're a little girl. All right. And we started doing some research, and then we went to the gun range and tried a bunch of guns out. And she finally decided, yeah, I want a Walther PPS. All right. Well, so she bought herself a fucking Walther. Good choice. I liked it enough. I bought one too. I was like, "Oh fuck," because I shot it and I was like, Jesus, this is a nice little gun. So, but it took 4 years to get there, but she got there. And it wasn't proselytizing and preaching and being like active about it. Like, I got to get this girl to get into guns. No, it was just, you smile and nod, pat her on the head, put her fucking, her little crayon drawing on the fridge so everyone can see it. Ryan's talked about that. I know what he's talking about, but you do your thing. And then all of a sudden, then she's now, oh, wow, fucking liberals and feminism. And it's like, oh, wow, someone woke up. Interesting. So if you can do that once, you can do that again.
Indeed. Training isn't hard, but it takes practice. And it can be difficult not to backslide on old behaviors.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, what are these crystals?
Crystals are a phase little girls go through, like Rob's Richard. I'm okay with that.
That's
like I've said to women before, I'm not Mr. Right. I'm just Mr. Right now. I've told women that because I've seen there was a discussion that some of the guys I follow on Twitter were having that very discussion where, one guy's like, yeah, I met this girl, things were going great. Well, then she starts wanting to get fucking serious. She wants to, it was the question of where's this going?
Yeah.
And he wasn't sure how to handle it because he's like, I don't want to just ghost or do anything like that. And he's like, he was asking for advice. And he's like, how would you handle it? And I'm like, well, how would I handle it? I would tell her what I told her from the very beginning, which is I'm not Mr. Right. I'm Mr. Right now. Now, if you want to stay, great. If you want to go, that's fine too. You can stay or you can go, but the choice is yours. But I'm not changing. And some of them left. Some of them decided, well, yep, I got to go. Okay. I'll miss you and that sucks, but I get it. But I'm not gonna change for you. Mm-hmm. And then some stuck around that, oh, okay, well, they were good with how it was till they weren't. I know the score. I know how it plays out. And I'm not going to give an inch in that area. That is one of those hard lines in the sand thing.
Yeah.
So.
That's weird. Not showing up. Periscope isn't showing up on Twitter feed. Usually does.
Twitter's been having issues. There's been some shit going on today. It's been glitchy. Yeah. I've seen other accounts talking about it. I haven't had any issues with Twitter personally. I've been able to post and reply and DM and all that shit.
Yeah.
But some people I've noticed in, their tweets, they're talking about, has Twitter been glitchy for them? And enough people have said, yeah, I can't reply, or this isn't showing up, or that's not working, or whatever. And I think it was even Twitter support came out with something because somebody retweeted it and that there was something going on. And so that may be why the Periscope's not showing up. So I don't know.
Yeah. But we are live on Periscope. I'm watching it now. Cool. Just want to make sure.
Yep.
Twitter accounts were hacked. Ah, okay.
Ah, there we go. Yeah, that would.
Fantastic.
And so they're probably trying to figure out ways to. Did they really get hacked though, or is this part of a bigger distraction?
Yeah, who knows?
Because there's that
look
whole
over here while this hand does something.
Oh yeah,
else.
they were hacked, really? Because I heard something about like major accounts got hacked, really, or is this part of that whole Giselle
Major
whatever
accounts.
That she she got arrested and is about ready to unleash hell.
Twitter we use.
I use it fucking daily.
Yeah, to push the masculine geek stuff. I very rarely, occasionally on my personal one.
Obama, Bezos, yeah, they were hacked.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, you create a problem, then fix it, and then put in more rules. I mean, it's like anything; it's a tool.
Elon was hacked. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, guys. Yeah, they were hacked. Right.
Twitter support was hacked. That's funny.
Yeah, so Dre, most of the guys here in the $1 Million Chat, we're all a bunch of Twitter fiends. I have a love-hate relationship with Twitter. I love it, and yet I hate it at the same time. But my biggest audience is on Twitter. Bigger than YouTube, bigger than Facebook or any other platform I'm on. And it's just because I've made some really good friends on Twitter because I decided that's what I wanted to do. To me, Twitter's like going to the bar. And so that's what Twitter is to me. But there's times when, like I said, when I was ranting earlier about all the dipshits, that it's like, God damn, who let the fucking retards into the bar? They need a dress code.
Spurgs and retards.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, hell, that's how I met Vince. That's how I met Aaron. That's how I met Bull Rush. All these guys that I've met in real life, it all started on Twitter.
Yeah, this would not have happened without. I mean, we do owe Twitter that nod.
Yep. Yeah.
But it's been a tool. So.
Yeah, Juan makes a lot of memes, about Aaron, and man, some of them are fucking brutal.
You took over the mantle for us. Thank you,
yes,
Juan. I appreciate that. It was getting tiring. See, the problem with the issue that Aaron has, well, not an issue, but it's just an interesting observation. When he puts out a meme, he's only one person. And then he has to contend with all of us and Juan on top of that. So it's like for every one meme that he does, he's got 5 or 6 that follow up directed at him from
Yeah,
us.
it's like he shoots one rifle shot, and then the heavy howitzer artillery comes back at him. You know, he shoots one little guy, and we end up taking down the entire mountain. So it's a hoot.
Yeah.
They shut down the entire blue check server to reboot. Are you fucking serious, Chest? Wow.
That's pretty funny.
That is.
Rob disappeared again. He's either scratching his balls or draining the lizard. That's right, Joe. He shoots one blank and 5 come back at him. That last one he did was pretty funny. The one with Rollo up in the top left-hand corner in regard to his book. That shit was funny. All of them were. You have to really pay attention to all the little detail that Aaron. You have to. I admire the detail that he has the time to put into that, to making up memes. So we don't really make up memes about Aaron. He was bored one day. This is going back like almost a year ago, probably like 7-8 months, and he started making up these fake news headlines, and they're funny. It's like, are you really that bored? And apparently he is. So in between answering questions and running his business, he's making memes. So we got back at him, and then Juan jumped on once he found out what we were doing. I think he joined Twitter in direct just to actually do that. So his Twitter social media presence has taken off due to meme creation. His napping, in fact, no. Then you would think, but apparently, the napping is 4 hours. I can't speak to the fapping. I'm going to go out on a limb and assume it's over very quickly. That's what his wife says. So you figure 5 minutes for the fapping, and then 4 hours. So you got 4 hours, 5, maybe 10 minutes tops. So in between his business and napping and fapping, Aaron is making memes.
Which some of his are actually pretty good. He's not bad at it. As a one-man meme making machine, he does okay. You know, that his definitely make me laugh when I see him. So, Marty, I'm drinking Pepsi Zero. I'm sober Rob tonight.
5 minutes, 25 times a day. Not only that, there's a lot of he has to he has to invest in a lot of hand cream, I'm sure, or burn cream, because that's a lot of friction. Fuck, can't even imagine. Rob's on the wagon. We're all on the wagon tonight.
Yep.
TJ's incognito, and Rob and I are sober.
And that's okay, because I realize sober Rob can let him rip just as good as drunk Rob can, so I'm all right.
Mm-hmm. That's right. He is rubbing himself the wrong way, even when he's using the reverse European method.
Oh Jesus, the stranger.
That's right. Oh, you have to. Well, no, that's different. The stranger and the reverse European method are two different things. Not that I would know that. No, I would know that personally.
Correct, Marty. Correct.
Yep.
You know you're scraping the bottom of the barrel when you're coming and paying me attention.
The joy. Yeah, that was that was your first one, wasn't it, Juan? I think that was
one of the early ones.
That was fucking hysterical. I still chuckle with that one, and it was you did it like not long after that happened, so it's like too soon. Nah, fucking do it anyway.
Hey, thinking of that, I think today is I gotta check, I gotta see, but I think today is his 50th day
sober.
Yeah, I think so.
Nice. Notice how you don't hear anything now about that? It's like completely off the media radar. You don't hear anything about the cops involved with that. Nothing about a trial. Nothing. Oh yeah, I started noticing that about almost a month ago. The CVS near me had a printed out sheet that said we're something with the government's low on coins, and I know for a fact they're not. Okay, this is all bullshit. fucking stupid. It's to the point where they don't even care anymore. They're just making shit up, and they don't care if we believe it or not. They just fuck up, make shit up. It doesn't matter. They're not. No one's going to do anything about it. Look, see, we just said that no one's. There's no hue and cry over this. All right, let's make some shit up. No coins. Yeah, no coins.
Yeah, whatever. That I can debunk that one right now. That while I'm not in the armored car industry anymore, I still am in touch with people who are. Yeah, no, there's not a shortage of coins. Because that's where the coins, the coins come from the Federal Reserve, which gets picked up by the armored car companies and then delivered to the, the different banks. And yeah, no, there's not a shortage on coin. There's not a shortage on currency. It's like, no, not when you have a printing press. It's like, there's no shortage of coin.
Yeah. Fucking stupid. Oh, fuck. Oh, so what's the climate like out there in Utah, Rob? What,
right now?
Opened up? Yeah. Because you were at a bar recently, weren't you?
Yeah, the bar, I was at 2 different bars over the weekend, and it was funny because there is when you're in Salt Lake County, which is where I live, Salt Lake County, the governor of the state of Utah and the mayor of the county put in a mandate that if you're going to be out in public, you need to wear a mask. Okay. That's about 2 weeks old now. And so everybody's got fucking signs in their windows that, if you come in, you have to be wearing a mask. All right. Well, fuck. 50-50 people, are wearing masks or they're not. And I've not seen one person be refused entry or denied business if they don't wear a mask. Okay, I haven't seen that. Going into the bars, 2 different bars. One bar, it was you had to have a mask to enter. But once you were in the door, you could take it off and move about freely and do whatever the fuck you wanted. They recommended you social distance, all that bullshit. But otherwise, it literally was kind of like showing your ID. You had to have a mask to get in the door. But otherwise, after that, you took it off. And like when I left the bar, I didn't put I did wear the mask in because I didn't want any fucking issues with the people I was with. I didn't want any issues for them. Otherwise, I would have just walked up and been like, let me in. Okay. But walking around in that bar, and when we left, I didn't even bother putting the mask back on. I was like, fuck it. I just walked out the door. The second bar we went to had the same policy about you have to wear a mask on entry. And if you were to get up from your table and like go to the restroom or, kind of migrate around a little bit, you had to wear a mask. And that bar was a little more on the enforcement end of things. The security and whatnot would come and, they were really cool about it, but they'd remind you, like put your fucking mask on. Okay. But if you were sitting at your table, you could take the mask off. Which I thought, this is how I know this shit's a farce. It's like,
this is the dumbest shit. People think we're people think we're fucking stupid. It's just unbelievable. The fuck,
right? And that's what it is. That the bars, both bars didn't care, but because there is a mandate and that the government could come in and shut them down. Could make them close their doors type of thing. That's why they're doing the mask thing. But like I said, once you were inside, one place was a little more strict, but even then they weren't pushing it because we were patronizing their bar and buying drinks. They had set it up where that they weren't going to get to full capacity because the tables were all like 6 feet apart type of thing, even though, there was nothing stopping you from sitting at your own table and then getting up and going and sitting with other people. Because I was doing that when I was talking to some of the women and talking to some guys. I was standing over at their table, not wearing a mask, and they weren't wearing masks, and definitely closer than 6 feet. And nobody said a fucking word. So that's kind of what's going on right now. But as far as I know, everything is open. It's just, you got to wear a mask to get in. And there's the social distancing. So a lot of places, you know, the establishments are not at full capacity. You know, they're not going to pack the room type of thing. But other than that, everything's open as of right now. So there's been rumblings because we've had a spike in cases. There's been rumblings about doing another shutdown. And I'm thinking, yeah, people will lose their goddamn minds if that happens.
Yeah.
But who knows? It could. You know, I don't know. Each day is kind of a new day that it's like, oh, what are we doing today? You know, but that's all that's going on here right now.
Gotcha. Yeah, the gyms are still closed here in New Jersey, so I've been going over to Pennsylvania.
Yeah, see, the gyms here are open. And I think if I recall, it's kind of the same thing. If you go outside of Salt Lake County and Summit County, those are the only two counties right now in Utah that are enforcing a mandate that, you know, you need to wear a mask. Everywhere else, it's pretty much voluntary, I guess, for lack of a better word. And so like going down to Utah County, for instance, nobody's wearing fucking masks down there. Everybody's just, it's like almost like life has gone back to pre-pandemic. Other than a lot of the establishments are kind of doing the social distancing thing. Yeah. But beyond that, it's like, nah, they're pretty much business as usual. And at some point, I'm, you know, hoping that, you know, we'll get back to that too. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, okay, well, you can't go to the gym. All right. But you can go shop at Walmart. Okay. You want to actually logically explain that one to me? That makes zero sense.
It's just like you need to social distance, but you can go out and protest.
Yeah. It's just complete bullshit.
That's all it is. It's all bullshit. So
statewide mask mandates.
Well, whatever.
Jam your mask up your ass.
Minnesota. Oh God. Well, that's commie soda though. That's why.
Yeah. Well, that's a lot of the liquor stores and bars. They're worried about their liquor licenses. They're gold. So.
Oh yeah, that's one thing that when I realized, you know, when this whole thing started, and before I think a lot of people realized that it was nothing but a farce. You know, it was, if you're not essential, they closed you down. The liquor stores and shit out here have always been open. They've never shut down.
Same.
Why? Because you get a bunch of alcoholics and they start drying out, you're going to have a war.
Talk about hospital beds being overrun. Shit.
Yeah, exactly. People are starting to dry out and detox. You better believe you're going to have a fucking influx. And so the only thing that I noticed about the liquor stores, and I haven't paid attention recently, I think it's kind of gone away because they've kind of got away from it. And these are state-run liquor stores because in Utah, that's how it is. Okay, the state runs them. These are not private enterprise. Okay. The only thing that had changed during the first of this outbreak was the masks and the social distancing. So the line to buy alcohol was out the door and around the building because everybody had to be 6 feet apart. And they were only allowing at that time like 3 or 4 individuals into the building at a time. And so for every person that wanted to come in, somebody had to leave. And they were making it where you had to know what you were going to buy. You go in, you fucking buy it, you get the fuck out. You don't go shopping. You know, you knew what you wanted. You walked in, you fucking went right to it. You got it, you paid, you got out, which is pretty much what any guy does. But there, you know, that was the only real change. You didn't get to go around with a shopping cart because some people buy in bulk. And, you know, oh, I'm going to buy a couple bottles of this and a couple bottles of that and a 12 pack of this. It's no, you get in, you get out. You don't stand around and shoot the shit with people. You fucking get your shit and you get out. But the liquor stores never closed. So the gyms did close. But right now, as of this moment, the gyms are back open. And I know the entry exit is still the same. You got to have a mask to go in. You got to have a mask walking out. While you're actually working out, I don't think you do, though. You can take it off.
Yeah, so. Walking in, they posted the sign just to cover their asses, but everybody in the gym didn't have the mask. That's fucking stupid. You can wind up passing the fuck out.
Yeah, exactly.
Stupid.
Yeah, Juan. Utah's got some of the goofiest liquor laws in the union. We have some really strange shit, man. And one of them is that you got to understand something, Juan. Just recently, this year, so 2020, is that Utah will allow you to buy how we talk about volume of alcohol per whatever you have 4.2, 4.6, 5.0, per volume, alcohol per volume type of thing. Anything over 3.2 had to be sold in the liquor store. You could not buy it at a convenience store or a grocery store or a gas station, anything like that. So Utah, for pretty much since day one, the highest volume content percentage, whatever it is, was 3.2 for beer. Okay. Wine and obviously hard liquor is a higher volume, a higher percentage. That had to be purchased at the liquor store and still does. Okay. But beer, if it was 3.2 or less, you could buy at a gas station, your grocery store, but anything higher, you had to buy it at the liquor store. Well, Utah finally got away from that, and it's only because the manufacturers of the beer, there was only like 2 or 3 states that did 3.2. There was us, I think Kentucky was another one, and there might have been one other state. And it was the manufacturers. It was like Budweiser or Anheuser-Busch. That said, you know what, we're not going to make that anymore because it's not profitable, because there's so few areas that there's a demand for it. So we're just not going to do it anymore. You guys are you're either going to have to move up to the 4.6 or the 5.0 or whatever the standard, volume amount, or I guess you guys are going to go dry. Well, we learned a lesson from Prohibition. And the state of Utah, as much as they would love to be a dry state, knows that that's not going to happen. And so they changed the laws, and now you can buy 5.0, 5% volume per volume thing. You can buy that in the grocery store now. But your hard alcohol, your wines, that kind of stuff, you still have to buy that in the liquor store. And yet the state runs it. And it's funny because even though it's considered a nonprofit, it is the one thing that fucking turns a profit. So. Mm-hmm. Correct, McTubus. 3.2 is like tap water. Oklahoma was another one. So yeah, there was like 3. Yeah. And now the 5% bacon, that's what we have in the grocery store now. You could get that in the past. You could get it at the liquor store, but you couldn't get it in the grocery store. Well, now you can. And it was funny because then the price went way down, because now because the state had a monopoly on the price of alcohol, because they're the only ones that can legally sell it to the bars, to everybody. It is a monopoly here in Utah. But once the stores could sell 5.0, the fucking stores started charging less than the liquor store. And, and they're making a hell of a profit on it. And so then the fucking liquor store had to come down, because why would you go and pay more at the liquor store when you can buy it at the convenience store? Because that's usually where I buy my beer. It's like, oh, fuck it, I don't need to go and hang out at the liquor store. That's only if I want to buy wine or buy hard alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, Amos, we were just talking about the Twitter cyber attack.
Chesty, that is fucking awesome.
Well, that's pretty good.
Hell yeah. That is going to be some good shit right there.
What the fuck?
What do you got going on there? You're like Mr. Popular tonight.
1.5. No, it's John from Modern Light Dating. The when you're wrapping up, we should still be going strong. Okay. He knows that we're with the Zoom meetings for his webinars. He's been wanting me to do another BDSM domination thing, and they're already talking about it now. And when they're occurring Zoom meetings, like, get in here. I'm like, you know what day it is? Fuck.
Right. Yeah, you know we're doing a show, right?
God damn it.
This isn't the day to do that.
Let me hang on a second. God damn it. China is asshole.
That's right. China is asshole. China asshole.
Nick, back in Modern Life John's last By Life Mastery course, which also includes entry to the webinars, and that I think that when he does the webinars, I want to say they're almost every day, twice a day. And I did a live BDSM and demonstration and did a mummification of my main girl live. I think there had to be like 140, 150 guys watching the webinar. You could hear a pin drop. It was probably one of the more popular webinars. But yeah, I'll probably be doing that soon for the Masculine Geek .life Zoom, our own Zoom meeting. So don't worry, you won't miss anything. Run a verified Twitter account. Oh, okay. I don't know if all the verified Twitter accounts were hacked. I think a lot of the mainstream commercial ones. A lot of political assholes got their shit hacked from what I heard. I really don't know details. You'd have to ask the guys in the chat. Rob is draining the lizard again. It's getting close to 11 o'clock. But yeah, the fuck? I don't know too much about the hacking. I'm assuming because I don't know if anyone here in the chat other than you, Amos, has a verified account. We don't really have to worry about it. So I do know that StreamYard is not pushing out the stream to Periscope. So you cannot see this on the Twitter stream. How did I get into BDSM? That is a long story. I've been doing it for, let's see. First introduction was around 24, 25. But I've been doing it seriously for over 16 years. So if you want to know more, you want to see live demonstrations and other things, BDSM and non-BDSM related, go to masculinegeek.life and sign up. You'll get 50% off a membership for the month of July. masculinegeek.life. I'll type it in chat. Yeah. Speakeasy, which is a private forum, is going rather well. Let the spankings begin. Absolutely. But yeah, I've been involved in the scene, as it were, for a very long time. I mean, it's not for every guy, but it is for most guys. And once you get involved, you never go back. Never go back. Y'all ain't ready. That's true, Bull Rush. There's a lot of guys that are not ready. You got to start off slow. Mictobus is not. That is true, Joe. Mictobus. Well, he did respond to the discussion on knives, so he did get into that, and then he had an issue logging in. There was a permissions issue I had to fix this morning, either yesterday or today. I forget, but that's all taken care of. But it's pretty lively. There's no censoring. There's no cancel culture. There's no bullshit. It's just straight talk. Talk about anything you want. And we're fairly active. I drop in the chat 2 or 3 times a day. You can also access it from your phone. You can post. It's good stuff. That's just one of the perks. So go on the site, check it out. Obviously, cancel anytime. But what is this job you speak of? Get a job, Nick. Get a job, young man.
Get a haircut and get a real job.
I need a haircut soon. I can't get to my barber until August.
Is that when the barbers are opening up?
No, they're open now, but they're fucking backed up.
Backlog. Oh,
and they're on a limited schedule. Like you can't go online and book. You have to call up, and then I called up and like, oh yeah, August. Like, fucking
August.
Because all this shit's getting cut off.
Yeah, well, you could always do what I did. Just saying.
No cancel call. Well, cancel culture, Amos, I know you're making a joke. That's forced. And that comes from without. It comes from a third party forcing you to do something that you do not want. But as far as our content, you join, you don't like it, you cancel. There you go.
Yeah. That's right.
But so far, so good. And I have 2 articles in the BDSM section. One older one from the Patreon that I ported over with pictures, and a new one. It's regarding collaring. I have a few more in the pipeline. They'll be up soon and be getting more essays up. And also a backlog of things from Patreon are going to be ported over to the archive section. So
nice. You're correct, Nick. What is this hair people speak of? Yeah, because that's one thing that I've never had an issue with. It's like, no, everyone's looking like Shaggy from fucking Scooby-Doo, and it's like, not me.
Amos, don't be. What are you hitting us with these negative waves for? What is that? No. Just stop hating. And if they canceled, that's fine. They can. They're not. I don't think they're going to. They love it too much, and it would still be there.
Yep.
Yeah. See, I'm gonna be there whether you like it or not. So stop hitting us with those negative waves. Does anyone know the movie reference that is from? You guys should know.
Stop with the negative waves.
Yeah.
I'm drawing a blank.
Well, you watched the movie for the first time with Aaron when we were at Village by the Sea.
Oh, was that Kelly's Heroes or whatever?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, yep. I'm going to be a dissenter and be like, I didn't really think it was all that good of a movie.
That's fine.
I mean, it was okay.
I grew up with it, and so did Aaron.
And I get it. So. I mean, the film is old enough, but I really just was kind of like, whatever. It's just like when I've seen people beating off to Joker, and I'm like, yeah, I saw it. It was okay. It wasn't that great.
I think you bastards, though. That's from Johnny Dangerously.
Yeah, you bastards.
And it is a quote from Oddball. Donald Sutherland. You're fired. That one is from. There's an '80s movie with Michael Keaton. Gung Ho. It's about the I think the Japanese car industry coming to America. You're fired.
MLD beats off to Joker relentlessly. See, like I said, it was okay. I didn't think it was like the world's greatest, cinema.
Oh, the new Joker movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I've watched it a couple of times, and when I watched it, I was like, well, I'm glad I didn't go see that in the theater because I would have wanted my money and my 2 hours back type of thing.
Mm.
But it was okay. It was a different take on the Joker. It's not the take that I like because, he's the victim because mental illness and blah, 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 and it's the society he's in and all this shit. And I'm like, nah, I liked the Joker from what's his name? The Christian Bale trilogy, The Dark Knight.
Oh,
I've always liked the Joker that decided, and even other Jokers, even when Jack Nicholson did it, and even the original Batman TV show.
Mm-hmm.
I always liked the Joker who was like, I'm a fucking villain.
Okay.
You know, that he made the choice to be a villain. And that's what I liked about it. It's like, here's a guy that is like, fuck this, I'm the villain.
Yeah.
You know, and I respect that. It's like, okay, cool. Instead of, well, it's circumstances and mental illness and cultural this and that. It's like, no, the motherfucker made a choice. And I like that. I can respect that. So.
Agreed. Yeah, and Heath Ledger did do a good
to me,
job.
Heath Ledger did the best job. He was the best Joker as far as I'm concerned. And then Joaquin Phoenix, he did a decent job that he'd be my number 2 as far as that goes. Just doing the portrayal. But the thrill, I guess, Jack Nicholson would still be number 2 to me. And then Joaquin would be number 3.
That's true, Joe. They were.
Yeah.
As they should be.
Well, that's what I mean. That's one thing I've liked about, the older comics is the good guys, whether it was out of necessity or some type of kind of like a vendetta, like Batman, he's kind of wanting to avenge the death of his parents to a degree. Whatever it may be, the heroes always kind of had their little backstory about, well, this is why they're the hero. But the villains, a lot of your original villains, sometimes you didn't know the backstory. But when you did, it was usually like they made a choice. They're like, fuck this, I'm going to be the bad guy. And that's what I've always admired about that. It's like, they're owning it. It's like, not everybody's going to be a hero. Sometimes they're going to choose to be a villain.
That's right.
How are people, society going to change this fall? They're already changing now. This is the people shitting their pants wearing masks versus people who are not. And the thing is, like, even me and my dad have talked about this, that I hate the term, but a lot of this social distancing and mask wearing, that's the new normal. Okay. That shit's not going to go away anytime soon. If they get a vaccine, even then it won't. They'll have another fucking reason for us to stay isolated. Okay.
Yeah, if
Biden, they make a vaccine for it, and I don't think even that's going to happen. They've never made a vaccine for the fucking common house cold.
They're not going to make a vaccine that fast. It's bullshit.
No.
Yeah, if Biden wins in November, all this shit'll drop and go away. If Trump wins, which I strongly suspect he will, we're going to see 4 more years of bullshit.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah, I think you'll even see it get cranked up even higher. The heat will get turned up even more. It's already at a ridiculous level now. It'll go to plaid. It'll go from ludicrous to plaid.
Yeah.
What's that reference from?
I don't know. I've never heard that one. Do what?
Spaceballs.
Oh my God! It's like been so long since I've heard that. That's okay.
The warp speed and they're ridiculous and
okay.
They went plaid.
Plaid.
That's what's going to happen here. We're already at ridiculous, hitting ludicrous speeds now. It'll go plaid. That's what'll happen.
Forgot about Spaceballs.
Yeah, see, Mick Tuvis got it.
Yeah.
Well, and the thing is, Mick Tuvis, where you said if Biden wins, we're all fucked, they'll want revenge. We're all fucked anyway, because regardless of if Biden wins or not, Trump can only be in for 4 more years, because that's presidency is 2 terms. Okay. As it should be. Whoever comes in next, whether we get another Republican candidate, which is possible, but more likely than not, it's going to be a Democrat. Okay. They're going to want their revenge anyway. So we're fucked either way. Are we fucked in 4 years? Are we fucked in November? Are we fucked sooner or are we fucked later? Either way, it's going to happen. So that's just the direction that's going. My Schwartz is bigger than your Schwartz. Joe knows. Yeah, if Trump wins, the left will riot harder. Absolutely. Amos, you're correct. But either way, they're gonna want their pound of flesh. Okay. Whether they get it sooner or they get it later, they're gonna want it. So brace for that. Either way. If Trump wins, it's going to be a harder rioting type of thing, but it'll still give us as a collective whole more time to prepare for the eventuality. But it's coming either way. That statement about when you were fucked sounds like a monologue. You're fucked. And Bull Rush, I'm with you. I'd rather be fucked later so I can buy more 5.56. I agree. Yeah. It's just the reality we live in, as far as I can see. I mean, we are a two-party system. Yeah, you got the Green Party, you got the Libertarians, you got all these other little tiny parties. None of them in the history of the United States has ever come to power. And that's not going to change. Okay. So it's either going to be another Democrat or another Republican. That's the reality. I don't, when I used to vote, because I don't anymore, because I'm not going to support a broken system. But when I did, I would always vote independent. I would take whatever candidate that I felt could probably do the best on my behalf. Okay. And people would say, oh, you're just throwing your vote away. And it's like, yeah, most likely, because you know what? There's not enough people, especially when you get the electorate involved. And I'm not shitting on the electorate college, the electoral college. It's like, no, it's necessary in a republic. Okay. But there's not enough votes to put like a libertarian into power. The system's not set up for that. And it never has been. And so it's been rigged since day one, as far as I'm concerned, or at least from early on. Okay. Maybe the first 3 or 4 presidents, there might have been a little more, this could work, but since then, no.
Thanks, Bacon.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Appreciate that. National Socialist
Cascadia, and on the oppressed on which we kneel, one nation on their knees with protest and mandates for all. I like it. Fuck, no shit. And Nick, you're correct. The Electoral College is way better than we give it credit for. I agree 100%. 100%. Okay. It's a flawed system. It's what we have, but it's broken. And it's been broken for a long, long time. And so I just choose, you can say what you will. Me and my dad have had fucking vicious fights over it. When he asked me, do you vote? And I told him no. Fuck, he flipped his shit.
It's amazing how people just almost everyone, if you mention that, you're like, oh, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, he's like, I went to Vietnam so that you would have a right to vote. And I'm like, yeah, and I'm exercising my right not to. I appreciate that you did what you did. It doesn't devalue your service, Dad.
Exactly.
It doesn't devalue what you did. Yeah, I still honor what you did for me, Dad. But I'm choosing to exercise my right to not vote. And so you're not going to change my mind. I gave up a while ago. It's like, nope, I vote with my ass. So when the candidates become,
that's what Aaron says.
I knew you were going to bring that in there. I was waiting for that one. You did not disappoint. But when the voting becomes, instead of having someone to vote for, it's you're voting against. And that's that whole term of the lesser of two evils. When you no longer are voting for something, you're voting against something else. There's something wrong. That's my opinion. And that's what I realized several years ago as I'm looking at all the candidates, even our current president. And I'm thinking, I don't want that son of a bitch, but I don't want the alternative either. And it's like, then don't vote for either one, because the people I do vote for, they're never going to get in. Not the way the system is. So fuck it.
I can appreciate that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Meow.
Has anyone Washington's farewell letter to the... It's been a while, but yeah. He was warning against a lot of stuff in that one. And go and read Ronald Reagan's as well. That's another good one. It's a bit of a long read. I think it's like 8 or 9 pages, but it's worth it as well. Ross Perot. I remember Ross Perot.
Mm-hmm.
I know it. You know it. The people know it. There you go, Bull Rush. Good point. We completely ignored him.
Who did we ignore?
Ross Perot.
Yeah.
He was there to take away votes from the others. So that's what that was.
Pretty
That's
much.
essentially what a third party is.
Yeah, it really is. You know, it's just simply taking, some votes away from someone else. So, but when I realized that I had been voting against people versus voting for someone, that's when I stopped.
Yeah, I agree. I actually agree with you. So,
and you know what? I would agree too, Mictibus. I would. Not who I would have chose, but the candidates I wanted, I knew would never get it. So there was no point.
Yeah.
So, but I would take him over what the alternative was. I would take him again over what the alternative is. But I'm still not voting for something. At that point, I'm still voting against something.
What the fuck?
Nick, it's not hard to piss off the left.
It's really easy. Just say the word retard.
Yeah. That's like saying water is wet. It's not hard to piss off the left. They're pissed off anyway. So that's not a feat. That's not an accomplishment.
Indeed. All right, we're coming up on the 2-hour mark, and Rob and I have some things to discuss afterwards, and I may or may not be on MLD's BDSM webinar. We'll see. If not tonight, then another night.
Yep.
So, Rob, you want to tell everyone about masculinegeek.life?
It's a great place. You should sign up and come in and check it out. There's all kinds of activity. Even I have been gradually adding stuff to it.
I'm very happy with Rob's participation. Yeah, Rob's been in there. A couple people in the chat have been there.
Links, adding my 2 cents, whether people agree, disagree. That's the point, is you have a place where you can agree to disagree if you choose to.
Yep. This is indeed the part where Rob tells you what to do.
That's right, Nick. Go sign up, Nick. And here's the part where Nick says, "Don't tell me what to do." Wait, Jeez, Red. Better late than never, I guess.
A little late? It's like the end of the fucking show.
Yeah, you came in the last, 2 minutes.
Son of a bitch.
I came to see the porno, guys. Yeah, you just get to watch the guy wipe his shriveling dick off. That's all this is.
It was good. It was we started off the first hour talking about women. It was good.
Yeah.
We segued quickly into politics, which is essentially the same mangina bullshit.
Mm.
You're welcome, homeschool. Yes, he stole your line.
That's what I do, Nick. I steal thunder.
That's right. Red, would you say you had a little late? You had to work out and had an RPG. How'd your RPG session go? I trust it went well. And which one? You doing the Call of Cthulhu? Call of Cthulhu, see? You dirty whores. I wouldn't make that public there, Red, but we're going to. There you go. Everyone can read it. Fundamentally speaking, Amos, yeah. That's how it works. Oh, that's right. Shadowrun. You rocking the old school first edition or the new one? I forget. We did talk about this, I think, on Instagram. Was it Instagram? One of the social medias. I forget. Yeah, Shadowrun is cool. For me, it blended D&D tropes with futuristic, post-apocalyptical role-playing. It's kind of cool. I like it. It's a rules light version anarchy. Oh, okay. Is it still using the dice pools and four-sided dice and six-sided dice and shit? Who the fuck? Well, Bush, they can, but it's more muffled. That's the way it should be. You guys are going to enjoy my story. It's a little bit of a story and an intro to my BDSM world, and coming up in the next Punch Riot issue. I have to go sign up for that. It's only $5. That's Nick August's magazine.
I submitted something to Nick to put into his upcoming issue too.
Cool.
Yep. And he's like, oh, I love it. I'll use it, but only if I can pay you for it. Because
yeah, I know.
And I get where he's coming from, and I'm fine with that. But I had told him at one point that it's like, dude, I'll give you something to use if you want it. You know, I don't expect you to pay me. You don't have to pay me, because I want to see his magazine succeed. And so it's like,
it will. It's going strong. Yeah.
Scraping for money type of thing, especially where I don't know if I'm going to always be a consistent contributor, you know, but it's like, one off here and there every now and then. Sure. Of course. But he's like, yeah, you know, he wanted to make sure it's like, only if I get to pay. It's like, oh, okay, fine. Yeah. Fucking pay me, motherfucker. So. Yeah.
Yeah. It was when I did the short intro to my novella called Genesis that he insisted on paying. Like, okay, I wasn't expecting anything, and I'm also a Patreon for the magazine too. So
nice.
Support the work, and that's it, guys. If you put your money where your mouth is, if you like something, don't just fucking tweet about it. You can retweet it and tweet it, but make sure you go buy the book and leave a review. Make sure if you're going to do retweet a charity, make sure you give to that charity. You sons of bitches. Trebuchet ammunition.
Quantum combat.
Quantum
See
combat.
that right there, guys? If Chest is contributing, that's worth the price of admission right there.
Seriously. You get great fiction from Chest. It sounds like a nice sci-fi story. You're going to get BDSM from me. So, all of us.
Cool. Bacon's going to be on Let 'Em Burn tomorrow. Nice.
Very cool. I'll have to.
If
I'm not otherwise engaged, I will drop in.
Yep. There you go.
All right. So it is now 6 minutes past the 2-hour mark. So we're going to bid you all adieu. It's been a great chat. It's been a good talk. We missed TJ, but we soldiered on. So, Rob.
RobSays.net.
There you go. And masculinegeek.com, masculinegeek.live. But that one you have to pay for. We ain't cheap. Well, this month we are. It's half off. Go check that out. Anyway.
We're easy, but we're not cheap.
That's right.
That's what I tell the women. They bring that shit up, and I'm like, never said I wasn't easy. I'm just not cheap. So.
Atham. No.
Jesus, Atham, you came in at the last fucking second.
Invite you the last minute. We're going to invite you to, you can tell us where everyone can find. You're on Instagram.
Yeah,
That's
he's
where I
on
know you're at.
Instagram.
You're on fucking
Nothing coming,
Instagram.
guy. What's up, guys? Bye.
Bye. Hi. Bye. Last minute. You and fucking
Red
Red
Crusader.
Crusader coming in 10 minutes before the show ends. You
10
son
minutes,
of a
my ass.
bitches.
2 minutes.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, we went a little extra. We gave you
Yeah.
guys an extra 7 minutes. So there you
That's
go. Don't say we never gave you nothing. All right, we're gonna sign off now. It's been great talking to everybody. It's been a fantastic chat, and we look forward to talking to you soon. And to answer a question by Amos, the Saturday one-off will most likely be sometime the end of August or September. It depends on my Saturday schedules and everyone else's, of course, obviously.
Right.
That Saturday one-off will be run by Drew. The next Wednesday D&D game is August 5th, and that will be run by Raul Tomasi as Dungeon Master, and we'll be all the players.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
That's going to be a fun show.
Yeah.
And then we have a BDSM porn star coming on the end of July. Sterling Cooper. And we have a lot to talk about because we all have a love of BDSM. So there you go.
Right.
That's going to be a fantastic. TJ will be turning red. He won't be talking much, and he'll be turning red through most of it.
Yeah, he'll definitely be brief on that.
You can rate the colors of red on TJ's face from a scale of 1 to 10. All right, so we're gonna sign off now. Red, get your shit together and make sure you come on the show, watch the show, and enjoy your Shadowrun gaming as well. All right, everyone. We'll catch you later.